What matters most in life is to know how to define yourself and understand what is yourself. Who are you really? What are you about? What are you made of? And only when you know that, you can live your life consistently in sync with what you are, what is that you are. This is another video on how to live, knowledge and skills needed to create the life you want. The best possible experience of life. And here we are again talking about definition of yourself, how to define yourself. What is yourself? In my previous video, I already talked about what you are not. I said you are not your body-mind, which I think of and talk about as all one compilation, one body-mind, all mechanical, physical, something that's got a software built in and can actually exist and function totally without us doing anything much about it or hardly anything. And we are influenced by it to such an extent nowadays that we live out of it. We live out of our mind. We identify ourselves with our body and mind, body-mind. And of course, it's just totally mistaken. It's a complete delusion. And then the whole life that we live on the basis of our wrong identification is just really wasted. We can never be truly satisfied with our existence. We can never find the true peace, steadiness, stability, and deep understanding of what it is. And we can never get rid of fear and all the anxieties and everything that's connected with the life that we live today, that you live today, identifying yourself with your body-mind. This is something that changes all the time, that's perishable. Then you have to live in fear that, of course, it's all going to end sooner or later. And you don't even know when it's going to end, how it's going to end. You can, all sorts of things can happen and do happen. All this uncertainty. And there is a yearning, there is a longing inside us, deep inside us. Always. For no end. For something that's unchangeable, for something that goes on and on and on. It doesn't start, it doesn't end. It's not affected by everything that's going on in the physical reality of our everyday life. And it's just sort of peaceful, steady, clear, totally clear. And this thing does exist. It is inside you. And I'd like to call it soul. Soul. Soul does exist. Just think about all the religions that exist in the world from thousands and thousands of years till today. Why do religions exist? What fuels them? What fuels them is the existence inside ourselves of something that is not satisfied with this body-mind, that is not satisfied with a belief that everything is just the body-mind, that everything is sort of has got a start and an end, that it sort of has a little bit of a time in between that needs to be spent in a certain way with certain efforts, always trying to please the body, do as the mind says. No, we just know there is a knowing. There is certain experience inside it that cannot be identified with body-mind. And the science, no matter how much the human science progresses, cannot answer the question of what is this longing inside me. It exists. We experience it. That's why we know it exists. Because we experience it. No matter how much we are connected with this body-mind, no matter how much we think we're sort of only body-mind, never mind how much our mind thinks only scientifically and just relies on science all the time and facts and stuff like that. There is always a tiny, tiny, tiny bit left inside here that I like to call soul. Soul. Because it's an intimate thing, soul. It's an intimate expression of ourselves. soul. And you know, nowadays, most of us understand that everything is really just energy, as the science has finally got to the point where they sort of showed everybody that everything is just energy vibrating at a different speeds and at different levels. If it's energy that vibrates on a lower level is perceived by humans as material, is sort of physical, and everything that sort of vibrates on a higher level, with a higher speed, is sort of non-physical but can still be measured with waves. But there is something that vibrates on the highest level, a much higher level, that can be measured by any instrument that's been created by human mind, and that is the soul. And that is the soul. The soul does exist. The soul has a certain software of its own and can experience itself. That's why we can experience ourselves as souls. And that's why we always long for it. We always long for it, no matter how much material stuff we put into this, no matter how much material stuff we put around us, put into us, no matter what pleasures we're satisfying during this sort of short time that we think is our human existence. We have this experience inside us, even a tiny, tiny bit of this experience. We know that we have a soul, and yes, we do have a soul. We do have a soul. And how you need to identify yourself is with your soul. Your identification is your soul. It is not I, your name, your body, the way you look, the material possessions, the pleasures you experience in life. None of that. It is your soul. It is your soul. It does exist. Your soul exists. That is why, once you define yourself as your soul, and not as your body-mind, your life will take a different direction. You will spend your time differently. You will understand that as a soul, not just that you're not physical, but you do not have a start in the end. You are not constantly attached to this body that you are in this particular lifetime. And so on and so on and so on. There are so many things that will happen with your life, inside you, with you, once you start identifying yourself with your soul. I am a soul. You are a soul. We are all souls. This is for me for today. I don't want to go any further. I will go further in my next videos and on and on and on. This is just something to dwell on, to spend a little bit of time in silence, go into yourself and touch it. Experience a tiny bit of it. Spend some time in silence. It dwells there in silence. As always, I leave some programs underneath that you can use and that you can support my channel by doing that. And a lot of names, people who have great YouTube channels and YouTube videos that can sort of explain the life and our existence and everything that is in a matter that is going to be so useful for you. That's it for today. You are a soul. We are all souls. That is wonderful. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.